Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a really quick look at Luna. We don't even need to look at Bitcoin. It's kind of stuck on stupid, as I like to say. Just, kind of jumping up to 58,000, dipping down to 56, 58, 56. It can't quite figure out can't quite figure it out, I guess, for lack of better terms. And that's perfectly fine because the key takeaway is that it's not dropping any lower than 56. That's the important thing. And that's reaffirming itself as a strong support level. You can see a lot of volume accumulating at 56,000. So ultimately, not in bad shape, right? Now let's take a look here at Luna, just so you understand kind of what's going on with this, because I get a lot of requests for this one, of course, considering how high and how well it's done, based on the fact that Bitcoin is suffering, right? Most of the market right now is kind of stuck sideways or perhaps even going down when Luna is just going up. So we want to look at that, kind of understand how much further this could possibly go. And if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I just love teaching people how to trade. I've been trading for over 15 years, so my goal is to help you become a better, more self-sufficient trader. I'm a bit more on the conservative side. I take profits when I can, and I'm not trying to, I never hype things up, okay? So I hope you find benefit here today. Now, taking a look at the one-day chart, we're just going to work our way down, because it's important to know what's going on in the big picture and also the smaller picture too, right? So looking here at the one-day candlesticks, we can kind of see that we're above the 50-day simple moving average. That's awesome. That could potentially work as a support level and or intersect with some of the price action eventually if things taper off for Luna. Doesn't look like it has any sign of wanting to do that, but we do have to acknowledge the fact that we are at an 8 out of 9 on TD sequential, which essentially just means that we might be reaching a state of exhaustion here soon. We've maybe got one more day of bullish momentum before we might expect a retracement, or if nothing else, at the very least, consolidation before the next leg up. But right now you can see that it's testing the upper Fibonacci retracement level of 1.618, and we can see that there is definitely a chance that it could continue upwards to about $72, which is the basically 2x from where it started down here originally with its Fibonacci retracement level at about $37. So all good things here for Luna. We are also just breaching 70 on the RSI. That is not a bad sign at all. I'd be more comfortable if the price just kind of stayed under 70 at this point, because obviously that, with us being at an 8 on TD sequential, we're kind of close to that exhaustive state. So I don't like to see like an 8 or a 9 on TD sequential on the one day and then see the RSI peak up over 70. That kind of is a cause for concern for me. So I like that it's just kind of staying right there for now. I'd love to see some sideways action. Just so we can get some consolidation and maybe just have like some type of ascending wedge pattern breakout eventually. But I wouldn't expect Luna to go straight to the moon tomorrow, just based on the fact that it's had some pretty good days so far. And if you haven't already taken your profits, I would maybe recommend consider trimming, if nothing else, just to ensure that you can lock in some of the profits there if it were to try to come back down. Okay. Again, that's just big picture looking at it. All right, now here's one thing that's a big motivating factor. You can see how obviously it's very synonymous. This strong increase right here was essentially the same phenomenon as you might want to say or call it. I call it that because it's really interesting how the moving averages affect the price action. But when we have the 50 intersecting with the 200 in an upward fashion right here, that is essentially referred to as a golden cross, and that pushes the price action up. Okay, so that pushed that leg up right there very strong with that anticipation. So that, again, kind of leads to that exhaustion. Not to say it's completely exhausted, but again, one-day candlesticks tell us we got one more day left of bullish momentum. Here, we did get a nice little reset, as you can see right at the resistance level at $59.60. We have the price that got stopped out about three candlesticks in a row. So 12 hours straight, it could not pass that plane, came down to test, and then bounced back up. Now, I was mentioning that in yesterday's video that it might be advantageous to add your position closer to 55. It came down to 55.5, 56, and then bounced, right? So sometimes you can't play it too close to the cup, and that is essentially what happened. But the key takeaway here is that it kind of just came up, and it tried again, and it broke right straight through, and went up 2 extra Fibonacci retracement levels. And now it's getting stuck right here. So a lot of people are kind of like wondering, hey, is it going to break out any further? Well, it definitely looks like it's planning to. I mean, just the way that it keeps testing that resistance level, there's a good chance it could break out. But keep this in mind, how much higher can it go? Just based on its exhaustive state, right? Again, me being more conservative, I typically like to see the, a 9 on TD sequential and the price retrace. Now, for example, recently we saw Crow hit a 9 and continue for 5 more days after that, just about. Yes, it fell flat on its face a few days later, but it essentially did not care about that state of exhaustion. So don't get me wrong, that's not perfect. It's not exact science. Luna could continue, but we shouldn't expect it to see much more, if you will. We should expect it to come down eventually. And when we think about it, it's not even exponential at this point. So if you're taken profits or you're in a profit target range, consider definitely doing so. Because again, this could leg up again, but we don't technically know how much further it'll go. Anyways, what I'm getting at is the fact that here on the 4-hour chart, we do technically have a nice little reset where the price is able to consolidate sideways at support around $62, allowing for the consolidation to occur. And now we have a reset. So we're basically only 3 hours into this next momentous trend. Hypothetically, we have 6 to 10 more. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Not 3 hours in. We're 12 hours into this momentous trend. These are 3 4-hour candlesticks, right? So we basically have 6 more candlesticks worth of potential momentum to the upside. So is $72 potential in the near future? Yeah, it's very potential. I definitely think so. But again, you got to understand your returns do become diminished as the price gets further away from the original point. So keep that in mind. Depending on your position, obviously, you're not going to be able to 2 or 3x if you get in right now. If that makes any sense, right? So just keep that in mind. But generally speaking, all good things here for Luna. I don't see anything that's bearish at all. They definitely have nice, strong, bullish, momentous indicators. In fact, let's take a quick look at the MACD. That is a bit on the over-exaggerated side, right? That does tell us we might expect a pullback soon too. And then RSI is up over 70 on the 4-hour. Usually RSI over 70, the common rule of thumb, and watch my RSI video for this, is to essentially take profits when the price starts coming back down, not when it's going up. So right now it looks like it's starting to taper off. There's a chance it might be a good idea to take some profits because I don't foresee it going tremendously higher. Again, could go higher, sure, but how much higher will it go? Maybe not a lot. It needs to correct itself. It needs to have some kind of healthy consolidation, at least on the 1-day chart. Get 2 or 3 days of just sideways action, and then the next leg up will be even stronger. So taking a look here at the 1-hour chart, let's just go ahead and peek at a couple things, call it a day. We're looking at a nice healthy 6 for right now. As you can see, previously it hit the 9 and took off. So ultimately what we're looking for here is we have potentially 3 more hours worth of momentum to the upside, but it should likely consolidate and retrace. I'm going to guess we're going to see the price kind of bounce around between 60 and 66 as a rough estimate. It may break to the upside, but it's not giving us an indication that it's going to, even though these are kind of continuous patterns. Let's see what the Ishimoku cloud tells us. This is something we want to kind of respect and understand. So when you see the cloud doing this right here, for example, first of all, we're above the cloud. Yeah, check number 1, that's all well and good. But keep in mind, we've been above the cloud for a very long time. Okay, and that's that exhaustive state that we're seeing on the 1-day candles. Here, if we look at the Ishimoku cloud, we can tell that the baseline is lower or just about to intersect with the conversion line. When that happens, that's referred to as it's kind of like a bearish divergence. It's that shift in momentum that's occurring. So there's a strong chance that we might see this die off and taper off because once these two intersect, that tells us it's a sell signal, okay? Furthermore, we've got the lagging span intersecting with the price action potentially soon. Now, granted, it didn't do that here. Got kind of lucky with that second leg up, right? But is it going to have a third leg up? Or is it going to continue after it's already 8 days into a momentous trend, right? How much higher could it go? So simply put, you take everything we've seen so far. Yes, it's got great bullish momentum, good indications of essentially a buy signal. We have this contradictory Ishimoku cloud kind of telling us we probably want to exit our position. Keep in mind, Ishimoku cloud is a conservative indicator. It helps you get in and out of trades when the momentum has been established and gets out before the momentum is lost. It's telling us right now we're losing momentum. Okay, so just if that's any indication of something, I don't know. I would more so rather trust this. This keeps me safer than most other indicators. And this tells me that we're going to see something happen soon. It's either the price is either going to shoot up and break that resistance, or it's obviously going to start to taper off, lose momentum, and continue to consolidate and or retrace. I know. The two options are up or down, right? That kind of sucks. But on the same accord, we're having some conflicting information, and without having that full on like that confidence and knowing that this indication is giving me a buy signal or not necessarily a sell signal, that I don't feel comfortable recommending adding to your position at this point. Again, dollar cost average, if you are the kind of person that wants Luna forever, right? That's perfectly fine. But if you're swing trading, day trading, whatever the case, you probably want to read the signs here. This is reaching an exhaustive state. The likelihood of it going much further is pretty low. I know I said the same thing with KuCoin recently and it continued for a couple more days, but again, these things happen, and the higher it goes without correction, the further down it's going to come. Okay, so if you do hold on, make sure you start taking some profits in the near future once it hits its next target of just say $72. I think 72 would probably be the best case scenario in the next 24 hours, and then we expect a retracement. But I don't think we're going to see much more action in the immediate future. That's just my personal opinion based on this metric here alone. All right, so all in all, again, big picture, $72 is a strong likelihood for Luna. It's just that I don't foresee that happening immediately. And if it does, just be mindful of the fact that we could expect some kind of pullback based on the fact that we're hitting that point where there's just a lot of, yeah, there's just too much movement here, I guess you could say. All right, well, I hope you understand what I'm saying. I apologize if this kind of left you with more questions than answers. We'll cover this again here soon, of course. This is one of my daily drivers for the moment based on the amount of volume I get in requests. But I can tell you that if you haven't taken profits yet, consider doing so. And then obviously, dollar cost average if you feel like Luna is the coin for you. I just don't think it's going to get that much higher without coming down, right? So let's just be real. I hope that you find benefit. One last thing, we're looking at about 70% increase approximately in the last 5 trading days. That's a decent amount of growth. We got to take that into consideration as well. We're getting close to the top. All right, folks, thanks again for your time. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.